This is the one supplement that you're not taking that might be the most important supplement out there for performance, for actual output in the gym. And here's what that supplement is. So thank you for tuning in to another video. Today what I want to do is a review of, to me, one of the most critical supplements on the market if you are looking to improve your performance, if you're looking to improve your output in the gym. Now, prior to this supplement coming out, this is an absolutely unique supplement, because prior to this supplement, there was only one other supplement on the market that I could find that matched the three components that this supplement had. Before that, there was literally only one on the market, which is crazy to say. As big as the supplement industry is, I searched and searched and searched, and at that time I could only find one. And then here we go back a few weeks ago, I get an email come into my inbox from XWERKS, and this email revealed another supplement that provided those same three key things that this other supplement had. So that's what I want to talk about. I want to review this supplement a little bit, talk about it, compare it to the previous supplement that I used. And so the supplement that I want to discuss today is XWERKS Motion. XWERKS Motion. This is, to me, one of the most critical. Again, I know I've said it 3 or 4 times, but it is one of the best supplements on the market. Now, I just purchased this one, but I want to go into some detail as to why this supplement, when it released, excited me so much, and what 3 components about it are so unique that you can find certain elements of some of these of a supplement like this. So this is a carb supplement, but it's not just a carb supplement. You've got carbs, your amino acids, and your electrolytes all in one. And prior to XWERKS releasing this new motion supplement with all 3 of those, prior to that was 1st Phorm Intraforance. 1st Phorm was the only company I knew out there that had the electrolytes, aminos, and carbs all in one. So prior to XWERKS coming out with this supplement, 1st Phorm Intraforance was my go-to. So in this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about XWERKS, and then we're going to compare the two to look at the difference to essentially see which one I think is better. So stay tuned to find out which one actually comes out on top. So first, we're going to look at XWERKS. So something that is unique about XWERKS, when I received my original email, the email caption was, "Why choose Cluster Dextrin over other carbs? Have you ever noticed how some carbs leave you feeling bloated or spike your energy levels only to crash them down hard? We did too." This is why we're all about Cluster Dextrin. Rapid gastric emptying, steady energy, slow steady energy, release of energy, no spike, no sugar spikes, hydration boost, high solubility, it delivers fluids effectively, gentle on your gut, so that way you don't have any kind of cramps. There are some carb supplements that contain maltodextrin, which spikes sugar levels. Fructose can mess with your liver. Dextrose, instant energy, but at a price. But Cluster Dextrin supposedly offers energy that lasts without the drawbacks. So supposedly it's a little bit more of a slow carb that doesn't really so much spike your energy as fast as something like dextrose. If I'm looking to get that quick burst, dextrose is going to do it. So what they say about Cluster Dextrin makes me think this is a fantastic supplement for somebody who's needing to regulate performance all throughout the day. So a CrossFitter that is competing in multiple CrossFit events throughout a day, oh my gosh, in a CrossFit competition day where you've got 4 or 5 events, this would be an excellent supplement, in my opinion, because of that Cluster Dextrin, to keep you from spiking and dropping and spiking and dropping your sugar levels throughout the day. You can take this supplement to get them carbs in, get that sugar in, but stay a little bit more leveled out. With that being said, a CrossFit competition or a jiu-jitsu competition where you're gonna have multiple events throughout the day, you're competing in the gi, you're competing in no gi, you're gonna have, 8 matches, something like that, 4 to 8 matches. This would be a great supplement to keep on hand, because those carbohydrates are gonna keep your glucose levels leveled out, and they're gonna keep your blood sugar topped off, which is gonna help you to keep your performance up, because you want those carbs. The problem you run into, or the problem I always found that I ran into, is like Gatorade was always important. And Gatorade is great because that sugar that it has will actually get those electrolytes into your muscles really quickly. So it's great. But the problem was I always had to worry about that sugar crash. So like I always had to worry about the timing of getting that sugar in and not getting that sugar spike too early and then having it crash during my actual event, right? So I think with something like Cluster Dextrin, you don't have to worry about that. The great thing about it too is it does have your electrolytes in it. So it's got those carbs, which are going to help get those electrolytes into your muscles, into your cells. And it does have the electrolytes, and it has the aminos too. Now, I am not a huge amino fan. I think that if you're getting enough protein, there's no need to really take in aminos personally. But if you are, let's say you're doing a 2-day CrossFit competition, right? And you want to be recovered for the next day, you're not going to be able to eat a ton of protein during the competition probably. It's just really hard to be eating chicken and digesting that chicken when you've got another event coming up, or like eating steak or things like that. Whereas aminos could be a good way to help increase that recovery, knowing that you have to compete the next day too. Or in a multiple day event like the CrossFit Games, or in long training sessions. If you are somebody who is truly a professional, you are grappling for hours and hours and hours a day, or training CrossFit for hours a day, or whatever sport it is that you're training for hours a day, this could help you to get those aminos in to try to reduce any kind of muscle loss and increase your recovery when you don't really have time to be eating that protein and taking in that protein. I realize how difficult that can be in the middle of a training session to ingest protein. Even a heavy, thick protein shake, sometimes our stomach just doesn't agree with it, and it just hurts our performance in that training session. So something like this can keep the amino pool topped off while you're still getting in electrolytes, carbohydrates. You're not having to drink multiple shakes. So sometimes too, like I remember times of drinking like 3 different drinks, right? I'm like drinking carbs, I'm drinking protein, I'm drinking electrolytes. Like this is all that in one, which is pretty amazing. It actually tastes really well. I've got the, I think it's like a raspberry lemonade flavor. And the raspberry lemonade actually tastes really, really good. It mixes very well. I like to take it, like if I wake up in the morning and I'm going to do cycling first thing in the morning, I haven't had any breakfast. I don't like to do fasted cardio very much. So a lot of times I'll just go ahead and mix up a scoop of this, and I'll sip that as I start. Maybe I'll do the first 15 or 20 minutes of my cycling fasted, and then once I get through 15-20 minutes, I'll start to sip on this. Also, if I was going to do a longer cycling session, like an hour and a half or something like that, this would absolutely be my drink of choice. Or the Intraforance, we'll get into that, but definitely one of these amino, electrolyte, and carb blends while I'm cycling to get me through that longer event. Remember, anytime you're going over 30-45 minutes, you probably want to start taking in some kind of carbohydrates if you're worried about keeping up your output and your performance. So let's look at price of the XWERKS. So you're looking at 30 servings. You're getting 25 grams of carbs per serving. You're getting, let's see, 3 grams of BCAAs, and of course you're getting your electrolytes, which magnesium, calcium, and sodium, it looks like, are the electrolytes listed here in this blend. That's what you're getting for $59. So $59, 30 servings per bag, 25 grams of carbs per serving, 3 grams of BCAAs per serving, and of course you're getting that Cluster Dextrin carbohydrates. That's the XWERKS. Now, let's look at the Intraforance. All right. So let's talk a little bit about the Intraforance, because this has been my go-to supplement until they just came out with the XWERKS Motion. So let's compare the two. We just went over what's in the XWERKS. So you're getting in the first form 25 servings compared to what we say 30 servings in the XWERKS. We're getting 25, so 5 less servings here. And the whoa, that is Ultraforance. I am on the wrong, well, so in the past I've taken the Intraforance, so we were gonna look at that, but in making this video, I found a recent discovery that Intraforance looks like it no longer exists, and now First Form has changed the name and come up with the Ultraforance instead of the Intraforance. And the Ultraforance does have your electrolytes and it's got your hydration and your carbs, but it does not have the aminos. Now it looks like First Form actually, XWERKS has the market cornered on that supplement. Wow. So it appears that now XWERKS is the only one out there that has electrolytes, carbohydrates, and aminos. And so First Form has a high Ultraforance, which has your carbs, and it's got your electrolytes, but it does not have your aminos, which I'll go ahead and talk about it because I'm okay with it not having aminos in it in a lot of scenarios, right? Not having the aminos isn't, if you're already getting enough protein in per day, the aminos are irrelevant. And this Ultraforance does look like a pretty great supplement. All right, so you're getting 60 servings for $49.99, 60 servings. So you're getting more bang for your buck. Now you're not getting the aminos, but you're getting your calcium, your magnesium. It's got, breaks down, you've got magnesium biglycinate and citrate. You've got your chloride, your sodium, your potassium, so a little bit better of an electrolyte complex, a little bit better of a hydration complex. It breaks down calcium citrate, potassium citrate, sodium chloride, magnesium biglycinate, magnesium citrate, potassium glycinate complex. So, and you're getting that you're getting cluster dextrin, plus you're getting fructose and dextrose. So you're getting that fructose, you're getting that dextrose, which is going to give you that instant boost, plus you're getting that cluster dextrin to try to give you that longer, slower energy as well. 24 grams of carbohydrates, 19 grams of that is from sugars. The 5 grams are from the cluster dextrin. So it does look like, you know, Ultraforance, you're getting 60 servings for $49.99, which is pretty fantastic. I think First Form puts out a good product. But again, XWERKS, as far as I know, has the market cornered. There could be somebody else who has this supplement out there now, but with a complex of carbs, BCAAs, and electrolytes, both, or all three. Nobody seems to have that out there. So with that being said, XWERKS Motion has got, you know, it's kind of in a category of its own. So it's I would use both these kind of in different scenarios. And if I was a pro athlete, I would probably own both of these. But at this point, I think that for somebody like me who's just a, workout, not really an athlete, maybe work out for a couple hours on Saturday or do one jiu-jitsu session in a day, or, I'm not working out for 4 hours straight, I think the Ultraforance would be fine. I mean, I'm getting in plenty of protein, and so I would probably in the future go with the Ultraforance because it does have, but I still like how this, I will say I do like that the XWERKS has all cluster dextrin. I do like that it has all cluster dextrin because, again, I get that the fructose and the dextrose have their place, but I think sometimes you don't want that spike. Sometimes you just don't want that sugar spike, especially if you're a little bit sensitive to sugar and, you get those crashes a little bit. The Cluster Dextrin to me really just seems to level out my sugar levels really well, where I'm somebody who every once in a while when I'm exercising, I will have, if I have sugar, we'll have a sugar spike and then I'll have a drop. And when I have a drop, it just drastically affects my performance. I can get a little bit hypoglycemic, and I think the Cluster Dextrin really helps to prevent a hypoglycemic episode from happening. So I like it for that. They both got their advantages. I know I'm kind of rambling at this point, but I think that both are great supplements. And all that to say that everybody and their brother is trying to look to take, you know, all kinds of supplements under the sun to increase their performance. And I will say that electrolytes and carbohydrates are some of the most performance enhancing supplements you can take. Carbohydrates directly affect glycolytic activities. Those are activities where you're accessing glycogen stores. Glycogen stores being carbohydrates. So carbohydrates are stored as energy. Carbohydrates are energy. So if you're doing any kind of power output, any kind of intense activity, you are burning up those carbohydrate stores. So you're going to need carbohydrates to replenish that, and good carbohydrates to replenish those stores, especially if you're doing high intensity work for a long period of time, such as cycling at a high intensity for an hour, hour and a half, doing jiu-jitsu for a couple hours, training CrossFit, things like that. Carbohydrates are going to be one of the greatest things that can increase performance. And if you're sweating a lot, electrolytes also are one of the most underrated supplements out there. Aside from like creatine, you know, creatine is one of the best supplements out there on the market that you can take for performance. Aside from that, carbohydrates and electrolytes would be right there. And then, of course, protein for creating protein synthesis. When you ingest protein, your body activates protein synthesis. So it's activating muscle recovery, activating muscle building when you take in protein. So, you know, if I had to pick, you know, 5 things to take, you know, I'm definitely taking protein. I'm definitely making sure that I get in carbohydrates. I'm definitely making sure that I'm taking creatine. I'm definitely making sure that I'm getting in my electrolytes. And then on top of that, I don't know, I would have to really think about what would come next after that. But that's why carbohydrates are one of the most underrated supplements that you can take, because sometimes even if you're on a lower carb diet and you're trying to watch your carbs and you're trying to watch your weight and you're trying to improve your body composition, it can be difficult to try to time your carbohydrates around your workout. So a lot of times people like to, if they're trying to cut weight and they're trying to, you know, improve their body composition or keep their body weight down, you know, they try to ingest their carbohydrates around their workout, so that way they make sure that all that blood glucose is utilized and there's no carbs that are being stored as fat. They try to limit and mitigate that as much as possible, but sometimes it can be difficult to get those carbohydrates. Like you're at work and you know you're working out at 5 o'clock, but it can be difficult to have those carbohydrates at, you know, 3:30 or 4 o'clock, knowing that you're going to the gym. You know, you just ate lunch and you're pressed for time. It can be so easy to just carry a scoop of XWERKS in a protein shaker in your work bag, carry it with you to work, and then just put some water in it, shake it up, and have you some great, slower digesting carbohydrates in your system when you're going into that workout, right? And it's going to help you with your performance. It's going to help you meet the carbohydrate needs for the day and help you time them around your workout. Because, like, you know, and some carbohydrates are harder to digest. So it's not like, you know, you're going to want to eat a bunch of vegetables and a slower digesting carbohydrate, you know, right before your workout, right? You don't want something heavy like that. So something light like that can be super nice to have right time, you know, right around your workouts. But anyways, if you have any questions about the XWERKS, any questions about supplements in general, I would love for you to hit me up in the comments and let me know, what is your favorite supplement out there? Or what do you think is one of the most underrated supplements out there that people are taking? So I would love to hear that. What's your favorite? Or what do you think is the most underrated? Or maybe your favorite is the most underrated. I'd love to hear all that in the comments, so please drop those, and thank you so much for tuning in and watching another video. you.